Good morning. I apologize, sir. I jumped the queue and started the presentation talk first because I have a meeting I need to rush. I'll finish this and go, and I apologize to the other guests. It was very nostalgic for me to walk down the corridor of this college. 84 December we entered this premises, and 89 April we exited from this. And believe me, those are the days, those are the memories I carry even today. Of course, this auditorium is where we used to play cricket. This is an empty ground, and the building was much smaller. We had just 2 floors. We are the generation of computer science engineering students. We work with 5/4-inch floppy disks, and we have seen many innovations. We didn't even have internet. In fact, as a student, I worked on presenting the concept of hyperlink, which is very common today. You click a link and you go into a website, but that was a paper. As a third-year student, I had written with another friend of mine. So it's very nostalgic and very exciting. And seeing, of course, the light is on us. I wish the light was on the other side because this is the future. I can't see many faces, but believe me, it has taken me 30 years back to 84, and the excitement walking into the college and trying to understand, 12th standard, you kind of study subjects to get the best marks in CET, to get the best marks in school, but what it means to be an engineer, and that's what I want to talk today. I mean, it's very common in Indian education system that your parents, your well-wishers, your friends, everybody expect you to come first rank, be the first in the class. And as a first day in engineering, that is the first thing I want you to unlearn. Don't try to be an individual contributor. Don't try to excel only yourself. From now on, engineering is teamwork. Nobody can build a dam with one person. Nobody can build a computer with one person. Nobody can write a software with one person. It is always a teamwork. So what is teamwork? What it means? Teamwork is something to ensure that everyone works towards a common goal. Unfortunately, no education system in India teaches teamwork. It is an unfortunate part, and Dr. Ashwath is just 1 year senior to me, and we consult a lot, and so if you can introduce something towards teamwork in the engineering curriculum, it will make a lot of difference for the future. What it means to be an engineer apart from being a team player? A negative attitude is the worst thing to carry into a team. You should always be positive. It doesn't matter who kicks the goal, but you are an important piece of the legwork that ensured the ball reached the person who kicked the goal finally in the football game. That's what teamwork is about. What it means to be an engineer. See, the day you all got qualified into joining an engineering college, the day you all got admission into an engineering college, that day itself you are a design person. You can design. Engineer is normally associated with designing, but unfortunately that is the minuscule portion of the entire project or the entire scope of problem solving. So what is it that is different? What makes you a good engineer? When things don't work, the ability to find why it did not work is the number one skill an engineer has to develop. In classical computer engineering, we call it debug skills. Meaning we computer engineers have introduced too many acronyms and words into English jargon. Debug is one of them. Bug is one of them. Bug normally came with a bed bug. When you are sleeping, if there is a bug in your bed, you can't sleep. It is irritating. You get up and search the bug and remove it. This process is called debug. So when you do something, 9 out of 10 it won't work, and that is natural. Okay? And the ability to find that bug and remove it, that skill is a very important aspect and more important than the design itself. There are many people who can design, but few people who can debug and fix the bug. As you get into a professional world, please understand that the ability to debug is what you will be awarded with, you will be recognized with, your growth, your professional growth, everything revolves around that. Next, apart from debug, what else? Many people know how to find a mistake or a bug in the design. Few people know how to fix it. And when you fix it, in a very complex project, in a very complex program, how do you know it doesn't affect something else? You may have fixed this problem, but you may have created a problem somewhere else. And that's a very important aspect. So the ability to debug, the ability to fix is the two foundation of an engineer more than the design. I rate these two skills as number one skills over and above design. And design is, trust me, is natural. It is creative side. It is thinking side, yes, but the ability to think on finding a problem is a much bigger challenge. The third aspect, so I talked of debug and fixing the bug. The third aspect of being a good engineer is communication skills. The most important aspect of a successful professional, whether he is a doctor, whether he is an engineer, whether he is a lawyer, or whether they are just a husband and wife, the foundation for success is communication. The ability to communicate clearly, written English, spoken English, and listening skills. This is the foundation, three foundations again of communication. Ability to speak clearly in any language, as long as the person or the other recipient understands the language you are speaking, is very, very important. The ability to disagree is not negative. In a meeting, in a discussion, if during a particularly a design issue, during a problem solving meetings, the most important aspect is to clearly communicate your agreement or disagreement. And disagreement is not bad. Unfortunately, we are brought up with the culture that you can't disagree with your parents, you can't disagree with your teachers, you can't disagree with your managers, blah, 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 blah. No. You should speak your mind, not rudely. Rudely is a different. Communication is the ability to disagree, communicate clearly, both written and spoken. The written English, the written communication is extremely important for an engineer. Not your WhatsApp language, that is okay between friends, but when you write a document, when you write a clear-cut document, which describes your design, which describes your testing results, which describes your patent application, the way you write with clarity is what differentiates you from others. When you speak, the ability to speak with conciseness, with clarity, and to the point, that makes a difference. These are the communication is something that few people, it would have come naturally based on their education background, based on their home background, but this is a skill that can be easily acquired. Practice to write well, speak well, and don't hesitate for any public speaking opportunity that you get during your 4 years. And there is a college seminar, normally you try to push somebody else to go speak. Don't do that. You are given an opportunity, go speak. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to fail. But do not withdraw into a shell. Go communicate clearly. So we talked of debug, we talked of ability to fix the bug, we talked of communications. We also spoke of teamwork. Okay. So this apart, there is one more important aspect of being a successful engineer, or in any profession. It is called being a professional. What does it mean being a professional? Okay. All these years, you did a homework because your teacher gave you a homework. You did something because your parents asked you to do. You wrote a CET exam because your parents thought you should be an engineer. So you always did something because somebody told you. And you also did it under fear that if I do not do it, I'll be reprimanded. But a professional is something that you do with passion, without being monitored. So the deadline that comes into the picture through somebody's supervision is not passion, is not your professional. A professional is a person who will deliver, who will achieve a goal, who will meet a target, who will learn something, who will put effort because it is his or her passion. It doesn't require monitoring. So, if you want to be successful in your career, you should be a person who will be able to deliver without being monitored. In management techniques, we call engineers as high management engineers and low management engineers. What is high management engineers? Somebody who needs to be monitored quite often. And what is low management engineers are those who can grow into leadership very, very quickly. So remember this always in your personal life. You don't need to find an excuse of why you didn't do something to tell your teacher or parents or anybody. You are ultimately pulling yourself down. That's what it means. So be a professional. There is a fifth dimension to be a successful professional. There is a fifth dimension, and this is the most important dimension for me, at least in my personal opinion, is that be a sportsman, sportsperson, sportswoman. Why? Because sports teaches you two things. One, it teaches you teamwork. It teaches you when you play a volleyball or a cricket or a football or a hockey or any team game, it teaches you how to win as a team, not as an individual. Engineering projects are won only as a team, not as individuals. Individual brilliance is respected, valued, but an individual can do only so much. 5 hands together make a lot more delivery. So this is very important. The other aspect that sports teaches you is the ability to handle failure. You can't win a gold medal every time. You can't be successful every time. You fail. And whenever you fail, you lose motivation. You feel bad. You feel depressed. Every day we sweat. We walk in the roads. We pick up dust. So the dust accumulation, the sweat, the smelly body, all this happens every day. So what do? We take bath every day. Motivation is the same thing. You have to motivate yourself every day when you get up and be positive. That's what sports teaches you. You may fail, tomorrow you succeed. You may fail tomorrow, you may fail day after tomorrow, you continuously keep failing, but you will succeed ultimately. And that's what sports teaches you. So the most important aspect of an engineer is being a sports person. I mean, if you look at any entrepreneur anywhere, India, abroad, they have a sports background. It will teach you a lot of things. So it's not always
about reading. It is also about learning. It's also about understanding failure, accepting failure. It is also about teamwork. And in all this aspect, I place the design at the lowest level. I'm not saying it's not important, but in terms of priority, I keep it at the lowest level. And place the teamwork at the highest level, ability as a sports person as a highest level, ability to debug as a highest level, ability to fix a solution at the highest level. And with that, I would like to conclude. And 10 years from now, I want this forum to have a lot of entrepreneurs and successful professionals from this group to come and take the next generation much, much ahead. All the best. Thank you.